Thank you very much. This is Brother Benson Media, and I'm here today to look into detail the reason why President William Ruto has decided to incorporate or has decided to have handshake with former president or the fourth president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And I have around few observations to put across. And this observation that I want to put across might have informed the decision of President William Ruto to make such nomination. As you know, the government right now of Kenya, especially the administration of William Samoei Ruto, in terms of approval rating, I don't think the approval rating is good based on the challenges it has faced. Remember, there was the Gen Z protest that really destabilized the president and made him to seek assistance from the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga to stabilize his government. There was also the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, which to date the effects um, are still being felt, you know, and is building on the politics of Kenya. So there's so much that has taken place, you know. But what could be the reason why President William Ruto appointed Uhuru allies into or nominated Uhuru allies into his administration of Kenya Kwanza? One of the reasons that I think is about the politics of 2027 and the second term of office. President William Ruto is very keen in securing second term in office. And he has decided to reach out to former president to assist him to actualize the dream of 2027. As you know, he has been facing hostility from Mount Kenya ever since Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. And he has lost that popularity in Mount Kenya. Remember in 2022, President William Ruto would visit Mount Kenya at any time he feels like. He would go there, do fundraising. But right now, the mountain is very hostile towards him. And when it comes to election, Mount Kenya plays a very big integral part to determine who becomes the president. And this is informed by the population that Mount Kenya has. So he has seen that and he has realized that he cannot get his second term without Mount Kenya. So he's trying his level, his ways possible to at least get some percentage from Mount Kenya by reaching out to Uhuru Kenyatta, who in turn donate his allies to the government. So that one could have informed him to nominate the allies of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So that is one reason. The second reason I think is about neutralizing the Gachagua effect stroke wave in Mount Kenya. Ever since the truthful man was impeached, the Mount Kenya constituents, I think larger percentage of it has left President William Samoei Ruto. And I think they are sharing their ideology, or they feel like the truthful man is speaking what they want, and they are supporting his moves. And that effect might be giving President William Ruto a nightmare, because he cannot do without Mount Kenya, or he cannot win that presidency without Mount Kenya, because at least not getting all the votes, but at least getting some percentage. Remember, towards the year 2022, I mean, when the Right Honorable Prime Minister had Her Excellency Martha Karua as his running mate, it was said that Baba only needs 30% of Mount Kenya, then he will be in office. But what happened? President Ruto got a lot of votes, and that denied Baba the chance to be in State House. So, with the wave of Rigathi Gachagua, so I think the President Ruto saw it wise to reach out to Uhuru Kenyatta so he can be assisted to stop that influence of Gachagua. Remember, even after impeaching Gachagua and he was replaced by His Excellency Kithure Kindiki, it had no effect actually in Mount Kenya, you know, and this was so much seen when the president went to Embu, where he was heckled, and the former president Uhuru Kenyatta was well received, and Rigathi Gachagua too was well received. So he saw it wise that Uhuru Kenyatta still has the impact in Mount Kenya. Let me reach out. So by reaching out, he feels, or I think he feels, that the effects of Uhuru Kenyatta and the allies might neutralize the wave of Rigathi Gachagua. Even though Rigathi Gachagua will not run as a president, but he will influence the election of 2027 or the politics of Mount Kenya. That is very crucial. So that could be also a reason why he reached out to Uhuru Kenyatta. Apart from that, he also needed the support of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, because as things stands today, president is not sitting pretty, because most of the promises he made to uh, Hustler Nation, some of them has not materialized. And president also keeps on making these promises and promises. So by bringing in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta on his side, especially for the 2027 general election, so that will play a big role for him, and even to give him like the a little bit of votes. So that also could be a reason why he reached out to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Another reason that I feel could have been, president has been talking about the unity, that bringing people together and doing away with tribalism, you know, popularizing his unity narratives versus tribalism, or expanding the broad-based government to accommodate Uhuru Kenyatta allies, you know, and this unity narrative is meant to cement or is meant to put him as a person who is a unifying factor. Remember, Rigathi was deemed or was termed as a tribal leader because he was speaking on the issues of Mount Kenya. Yeah, especially was very specific on the shares of Mount Kenya. Yeah, the shares in the government, I mean. But now, immediately after disagreement, the president came up with the narrative of unity, where ODM came in, where they donated the experts. Yeah. So that one would view the president as somebody who is a unifying factor. Then, before even a year, President Uhuru Kenyatta too was invited to the broad-based government, and his allies are now um, nominated or appointed in the broad-based government, just to show how president is fighting for that unity to do away with the tribal. That could also formed his narrative. Another reason that the president might have decided to bring in the allies of the Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is to balance off ODM. Because remember, ODM played a crucial role in impeachment of Gachagua. They were in the forefront. And even immediately after impeachment and expert given positions, they came out to be defending the government more than even the UDM members, the likes of Joho, Pio and I, even Badi, the CS for Treasury. They are very vocal in this government. So by bringing in the allies is balancing them off, because when it comes to demanding for any appointment, yeah, because their red card went up, yeah, especially after impeaching Gachagua. So by bringing in Uhuru allies, so this is just balancing them off to know that you are not here by yourself. So if they try to walk out, or if they try to demand any position, they will tell you that these positions are being shared amongst ourselves. So that also could have been the main reason why the president reached out to Uhuru to bring him in his allies. Another reason that also I think is the president is trying to reclaim Mount Kenya, and he's finding a way, how can I access Mount Kenya now, because there's that hostility. So the only way he can access Mount Kenya is through the allies who will be like his ambassadors to Mount Kenya. Remember, Kimani Ichungwa, now it's kind of like very difficult for him to navigate around Mount Kenya, because the other day you saw in charge people walked away left him standing in the church, in the pulpit, you know, walked out on him, you know. So by having the allies being appointed, they will be acting as ambassadors because they will be preaching the policies of the government. And through that, president will get an inroad in Mount Kenya. I don't know whether it will succeed. Yeah. Because from 2018 to 2022, president went through the church where he would do um, fundraising every week. He would go for services. He could even attend two churches during from 2018 to 2022 in Mount Kenya. And that's how he accessed Mount Kenya. And people really welcome him. And with his narrative, yeah, yeah, it was well received. But now the Mount Kenya and the Hustler Nation has left. So how can he get back, or how can he get even a half of the Hustler Nation and the population of Mount Kenya? So through these appointments, yeah, there will be a homecoming. He will be invited. Through that, he will speak, and he's a very good uh, speaker and a very good marketer, very much enticing, especially if you give him podium. He's so much eloquent, you know, you know how he does it. So that one will give him a leeway to enter Mount Kenya. So that could be the reason. The last reason that I think might have informed is Lipadeni. Remember when Rigathi Gachagua and President Ruto were campaigning to the to become the deputy president and the president, one of the campaign tool that they used was about the betrayal, that President Uhuru Kenyatta betrayed Ruto. Remember, it was kumi yangu, kumi yako. Yeah. And Gachagua said very well that Mount Kenya do not like betrayers. And they decampaign and they made sure that the message reached home. And the same narrative right now, Gachagua is using it. Ulidanganya watu wa Mount Kenya. Ulikuja na Biblia. Sasa tunajua ni nani ambayo tunafanya naye kazi. So that betrayal narrative, President Ruto has to find a way of encountering that. So by bringing in all the appointments, is trying to decampaign that narrative of betrayal. One, by appointing as many of your sons as he could to convince you or to convince Mount Kenya that I'm not a betrayer. If you talk about shares, your shares in the government is still intact. As a Mount Kenya, you still have a deputy president. Now you have CS, not one, but so many of them. So that is the reason. But now the question is, will it really work? Will it really work? Are the decisions that he has made to incorporate the Uhuru allies, does it resonate with the people on the ground? Ground inasema nini? Unajua Gachagua kila siku anasema yeye ni mtu wa ground. Ground wanasema nini? Eh? Kama ground itakubali ni sawa, lakini ground ikikataa, mm, yeah, kwa sababu tuliona immediately after the Gen Z protest walileta ODM on board to stabilize the government, but the impact was not felt. Yeah, I don't think there was an impact. There was no impact because now, if you even go to the decamp, how president is being decampaigned on the social media networks, you know, especially the X. Go watch the X or read the comments at the X space. People are having X space conversation, um, civic education. People have taken it upon themselves to educate Kenyans and put pressure on the government, you know. So will it work? When the experts came in, it did not work. Rigathi was impeached. Kithure Kindiki replaced him. What happened? It did not work. Now Uhuru Kenyatta is on board again. Will it work? Will it solve the issues that Kenyans are demanding? High cost of living. Will it solve that? To me, I don't think so because the time we just only have like 2 years. In a period of 2 years, the president cannot achieve all that. I don't think so. He can achieve. With the politics, and now the government is so much bloated because everybody is coming in. Yeah. So I don't know whether he will achieve that. That's what I think. I don't think he will achieve that. And what if the appointments or the nomination that he has proposed does not work? What next? Is he going to appoint who now? Or who is going to be brought into the government to stabilize? So let's watch the space as things unfold. If things are going to change, well and good. If things doesn't change, we will be here. Thank you very much for your time and may God bless you. See you next time.